40,000 pounds of waste.
Watch it
One
become
tablet.
something completely different. Tories, the
process begins as raw eggshell fragments pour onto the intake conveyor belt. A worker releases the next batch from the holding bin into the line. The loaded conveyor carries a thick layer of eggshell toward the wash tunnel. A magnetic separator pulls out stray metal fragments before washing even begins. The eggshell drops into the first wash tank, submerged in clean water. Paddles begin turning, agitating the eggshell to loosen dirt and debris. High-pressure water jets blast the eggshell clean on a mesh screen. Under the spray, the thin membrane begins lifting away from the shell. The tank drains, leaving clean eggshell fragments resting on the screen below. A vibrating screen shakes rapidly, separating membrane from the harder shell pieces. Warm air vents dry the eggshell, evaporating the last traces of moisture. A laser sensor scans each dried piece to check for consistency. A mechanical sorter removes any defective pieces before they continue forward. A measured batch of dry eggshell drops into the grinding mill's feed chute. Inside the mill, a rotating drum begins the first grinding stage. Tumbling ceramic media crush the eggshell into coarse fragments. Coarse ground eggshell powder streams out of the mill into a collection hopper. The coarse powder flows into a secondary, finer grinding stage. A high-speed rotor pulverizes the material into a much finer powder. The fine powder passes through a vibrating sieve for filtering. Oversized particles are separated out, leaving only the finest powder behind. Pneumatic tubes carry the filtered powder toward the next stage of the line. A stainless steel drum fills steadily with the fine eggshell powder. A digital scale confirms the exact weight before the batch moves on. The filled drum is wheeled away toward the refinement room. The powder is poured from the drum into a large mixing vessel. A liquid solvent streams into the vessel and begins dissolving the powder. An internal paddle blends the powder and liquid into a smooth slurry. A valve opens, releasing the blended slurry down the pipe toward the next tank. The slurry pours into a heated reaction tank for the next stage. The temperature gauge climbs as the tank's heating element engages. A slow turning stir thickens the mixture over several minutes. A small sample is drawn off to check the mixture's consistency. The tank's outlet valve opens, draining the processed liquid toward cooling. The liquid flows over a chilled steel plate to begin cooling down. As the temperature drops, crystalline structures begin forming on the plate. Rows of cooling trays inside the refrigerated room let the crystals fully develop. A mechanical arm lifts the tray of formed crystals onto the next belt. A vibrating plate crushes the crystals into smaller, uniform grains. The crushed grains fall through a fine mesh screen below. The refined grains collect steadily in a stainless steel bin. The bin is wheeled out of the cold room toward the pressing floor. The refined material is poured into the tablet press hopper. The tablet press engages, drawing material into the die cavity. A punch slams down, compressing the material into a solid tablet instantly. The press cycles again and again, ejecting tablet after tablet. Tablets slide down the chute and collect in a steel tray. Each tablet passes a camera sensor for a final quality check. Approved tablets funnel down toward the bottle filling line. A robotic arm places an empty glass bottle onto the moving conveyor. Tablets drop into the bottle through a precise counting chute. A spinning head threads the cap tightly onto the filled bottle. A heat-sealing unit locks in freshness just beneath the cap. A laser etches the batch code onto the bottle's base. The bottle moves through the labeling machine for its final wrap. A small roller presses the label smoothly against the glass surface. An inspection camera confirms the label is properly aligned. Any bottle that fails inspection is diverted off the main line. Bottles are grouped into sets of 60, ready for packing. A robotic arm lowers a cardboard box over the finished tray of bottles. A taping machine seals the top of the box as it passes through. The sealed box rolls onto the conveyor toward the palletizing area. A robotic arm stacks the box precisely onto the growing pallet. Layer by layer, the pallet stack continues to build. A shrink wrap machine seals the entire pallet in plastic film. A brief burst of heat seals the wrap tightly in place. A forklift slides its forks under the pallet and lifts it off the ground. The forklift carries the pallet down the aisle toward the shipping dock. The pallet is set down at the dock, ready for the next step. A dock worker scans the barcode to confirm the shipment. The pallet is loaded into the back of a waiting delivery truck. The truck's rear door rolls shut, sealing the final shipment.